Hello, everybody. Today we have a speaker from Latvia, Elena Trushenko, and she lives in Latvia, in Riga. And Elena is my colleague. We used to work together and do research together, and even defended our PhD in economics in one day together. So I'm very pleased that today she found some time to tell how is her life, how she turned on in Latvia, and what is she doing there. Because I know that she's studying at developmental psychology at the moment, and I'm very curious about her opinion, how she sees the situation with COVID now from the point of not only economics, but also psychology. So, Elena, please tell us how happened in your life that you're in Latvia. What are you exactly doing, and which course you took in which university?
Hello, Eugenia. I'm very glad to see you and to be invited by you to share my experience and my knowledge. I appreciate this. And speaking about my moving to another country, I got married, and that is why I decided to change the country of living. And I had to start everything from the very beginning. And then I also changed my personal status. I became a mother. And that was a huge stress for me, and I understood that I left the bubble of comfort. So I had a lot of questions to people, to universe, to life. And you know that I have scientific experience. I wrote articles. I defended dissertation, was going to defend one more. But I understood that this evidence-based science cannot answer my questions anymore, that my life beliefs do not reflect the life as it is. So I started another research, and I found information about Neufeld Institute, and I decided to try. I started education, the third education in my life.
Did it help you with your, actually, did you have any cultural shock after moving? And did it help you with this, like dealing with your changes?
After, yes, moving to another country is a huge stress, as I already mentioned, because what I thought that all the people were aggressive towards me. I couldn't understand why, and I also felt that I'm full of aggression. I also didn't know how to cope with these emotions, so it was very difficult. And psychology is the field that can explain you what is going on with your behavior, with reactions of other people. So now I can say that this study helped me a lot to understand what is going on with people and with me.
And probably with the economic behavior also, because I know that you have your opinion about COVID consequences, right? And why people behave like this, sitting at home for months, right? But in Latvia, you didn't experience this lockdown a lot.
Yeah.
Still, the
Uh,
country suffered also economically. So can you please explain what's going on with people being in this unusual situation with the COVID?
Yes, thank you. I can, and I will start with the presentation I prepared. I will try to explain briefly, but this is a very huge topic. There are a lot of details, but I will try. So we all feel that this lockdown and pandemic has effect on people, on our usual life, because this lockdown can be described as separation with our usual life, with our routines, with people even we love. Because, for example, I live here in Latvia, my mother lives in another country, and it's very difficult for us to stay in contact. This is separation, this is stress. We are full of negative emotions. So psychology can explain what is going on and how to deal with these emotions. First, I'd like to explain you a little bit why I was interested in this field of psychology called developmental psychology. Because, as I mentioned above, I had a lot of questions. For example, some of the questions you can see. Why are people aggressive, including me? Why are some people inattentive or not able to focus, to concentrate, including me also? I had these problems. Why are some people not capable to fall asleep at night? Why are people addicted? Now all of us, most part of us are addicted to digital world, to digital society, internet devices, including us, I think. Why? Also, the questions are, why are some people successful? Why do some people earn a lot of money and others cannot? Why do some people earn money but they are not happy? And what is happiness and what is well-being? And so I started a research, and now I came to this field of study called developmental psychology. I think that I should briefly explain the difference between like two main fields of study of psychology. Here you see,
for me also, yeah, like I'm very deep in behavioral psychology, and I love it. And developmental psychology is totally new for me.
Yes, it's new for a lot of people, but I think that this is our future, because behavioral psychology, it was popular and it was widely used in previous century. But now it's not enough, because life has changed. Everything is changing. People are in stress because of these changes. And only behavioral psychology is not capable to help us and to explain everything. So, speaking about behavioral psychology, it states that we can teach people to become successful. We can train people to earn money. We can practice every skill. So this type of psychology is focused on result. From our childhood, we heard that for example, if you study now, you will have a good career. If you work now, you will earn a lot of money. You know these phrases.
Yeah.
But this is true for some people, but for some, this is not true. For example, for people like me who have a very high sensitivity, I know everything in theory, but when it comes to practice, sometimes for me, it's very difficult to realize everything that I want. And developmental psychology is a little bit different, because it focuses not on the result, but on the root of the problem, on the source. So what is the problem? Why you cannot realize your human potential, for example? This is the main difference. And so developmental psychology pays much attention not to behavior, not to our actions, but to our emotions. Emotional life is of great importance. So developmentalists, scientists say now that it's not our thinking brain that influences our life. These are our emotions that influence our behavior and then influence our life. This is like briefly about difference. And now if you remember, I had this question: what is well-being? What is success? What is happiness in life? I will just try to explain again briefly. So from the point of view of developmental psychology, well-being is the degree to which you can realize your human potential. So every human is born to realize his potential, but not every human can succeed in this. And here we see that potential is can be characterized by three processes. The first one, separate being. Every person is born to become independent. So we all have potential to become independent, and that's not difficult to do if you do not have some disease. The second one, which is very important, every person is born to become adaptive being. It means that we have a potential to adapt to any negative circumstances that are beyond our control, like the situation we live in today. We have a lot of negative consequences concerning health, concerning economic, and concerning our everyday lives, our contacts, our personal life. We have potential to adapt to these things, but not everybody can do this. And the third process describing human potential means that every human can be social being. So we all have the potential to socialize, but without losing our individuality. Because maybe you know, there are some cases when people sacrifice in communication out of fear out of fear of upset, or out of need to be liked, to be needed. But we have the potential not to lose our individuality, but to integrate with others.
This sounds very, very important in our time. All of these three spheres, they are extremely sharp and light now in this.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah, like fastly changing world. Okay, thank you.
Yes,
How to deal with it?
What to do? They are very important, and you know that they are a matter of subject of huge theories. There are a lot of details, but of course now we do not have enough time, so I want to pay attention only to the second process, which I called adaptive being. So our ability to adapt to circumstances, and this ability depends on our emotions, on our emotional life. So here I mentioned some basic emotions which appear in our emotional brain, called limbic system, when we face separation. And facing separation is the situation we live in today, when we are separated from our usual life, when everything has changed completely. So this is called in psychology facing separation. And all the time you face the separation, it gives rise to three emotions that you see here. The first emotion is called frustration. Some scientists call it anger. The second one, alarm and pursuit. And I will try to explain about each of the emotions. But first of all, what is emotion and why is it so important for us? From the definition of this term, we can see that it consists of two parts. Emotion, motion meaning movement, E meaning electrical or energy. So this is the movement of energy in your body. This is electric impulse that appears in your brain, in your limbic system, and this impulse influences your body and seeks for exit from your body. So when emotion appears, it needs to be realized by your thinking brain, neocortex, and after realization, emotion needs to be expressed by your body with your heartbreak, with higher blood pressure, with maybe change of color of skin, or through your mouth with some words, with shouts, or with your tears. This is like expression of different emotions. Every emotion has its function and its task to do. So for emotion frustration, the task is to change the situation that you cannot change. For example, in this situation, we face a lot of changes. Of course, we want to change them, but we cannot. The example about me and my family, we had tickets to the United States, but due to travel bans, we could not, the borders were closed, so we couldn't. We couldn't go, we couldn't fly. And that was the beginning of frustration for me. I wanted to change the situation, but I couldn't. If it's impossible to change, then this emotion starts, continues the movement and to another exit, another possible exit from your head and from your body. The second exit usually is the feeling of futility, meaning that you have to let go situation. So you cannot change the situation, but you can change yourself, your attitude. You know the saying, but it's easy to say, it's not so easy to do. To do, you have to feel pain, you have to feel sorrow, grief, and these emotions are very negative. We do not like feeling them.
Yeah.
So from the first time, it's very difficult to transfer the energy of frustration to the energy of futility. So that means that frustration seeks another exit, the third exit from your head. And for this emotion, this exit is aggressive behavior, aggression, scandals, shouts, and so on. That is why we
I saw many of them in supermarket here in Poland,
yes.
like people fighting for nothing, just to let it go, these emotions.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that is why we have a lot of angry and aggressive people now, because for them it's very difficult. They want to change the situation, they cannot. They cannot feel these negative emotions. So the only way out for them is to feel aggression. Speaking about alarm, this is a very important emotion nowadays, which some scientists call it fear. The task of this emotion is to warn us about danger and to make us become cautious, careful. So what we hear today, governments warn us about danger in order to give rise to this emotion, alarm. And some people, they really feel alarm and they are becoming cautious about their life. But for some people, it's very difficult to feel this emotion because you feel danger. No, I, for example, I don't want to feel danger. So that means that this emotion will seek another exit because I don't want to feel alarm. I don't want to become cautious, for example. So it will move to another exit. Another exit is futility, which is also painful and negative. I cannot let go of the situation right now at the moment. I need some time. And if it's impossible, then the third exit for the emotion, it continues movement. So this emotion is very close to such conditions called as anxiety disorder. You know, this is
So many people, that's why in panic writing these comments about the spy games and coming back Cold War. Yeah, I see. Look, we have not so much time left, unfortunately, and I want to motivate our followers to watch, to follow the links you provided and to watch TED Talks on this topic and to dig deeper. And I want to ask you next question. Do you see any positive in this situation, or we just need to suffer until it finish, or we have some opportunities thanks to this lockdown?
I guess that every situation provides certain advantages for us, and this situation is like a chance to practice your ability to feel negative emotions, to feel this futility. And if you feel negative emotions, this is a chance for you to become a mature person, because you know that a lot of people grow older, but few people grow up. This is not a matter of age, maturation. Developmental psychology suggests that maturation depends on your ability to feel wide range of emotions and negative emotions, and on your ability to deal with them, not to move frustration to aggressive behavior, but to move it to futility. This is your problem, that you have frustration, not the problem of other people. So this is the chance to practice, maybe.
The big lesson for all of us. And chance for separation, right? Like forced separation. I see. Like staying in Latvia, maybe you can give some interesting examples, like comparing, cross-cultural comparing, because you traveled a lot. You can see the difference, because I've never been to Latvia. I'm very curious. I would love to visit it right after opening the borders. So what can you tell about like differences in this strange time in Latvia? People nervous, like, or people keeping calm down, like something what is surprising you in a nice way, maybe?
Yes, a lot of people think that Latvian people are closed in mentality to us, but this is not so. The people are closed. They are not so kind, so open-minded. It's a bit difficult sometimes with them, but in this situation with pandemic and lockdowns, what I see, people are disciplined, and maybe this was the reason why we didn't have strict measures. We didn't have to wear masks and gloves. We everything was open, like cafes, restaurants, and trade centers. Maybe because people are cautious and careful themselves. This is like a good, a positive feature of them. And speaking about some funny things, I can tell you about Estonians, our neighbor. We have a joke here that they are very nervous about this rule of social distance of 2 meters between them, and they're looking forward to return the previous distance of 5 meters, because now their private space is overcrowded. Yes, this is a characteristic feature of our neighbors, and this is a joke, but in every joke there is part of joke.
Yeah, well, I love these cross-cultural stories, and thank you for sharing. And I really believe that very soon we can meet personally and have the talk like this with coffee, sitting somewhere in the center of Riga. Thank you so much for this time, and I really enjoyed our interview. And please, all our dear followers, use the links Elena recommended to maybe to know something new for you, how to separate carefully in this time. And thank you for following us, and have a wonderful weekend ahead. Thank you, Elena, once again, and have a nice time and safe time in Latvia. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.